Today, I'm critiquing this hillside property in LA, and then I'm going to give it an Arvin score at the end of the video. So if you ever decide to buy a property like this, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the how to buy a mansion guy. Let's watch this video together.
Welcome to another tour from Los Angeles. This property features 4 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, approximately 6,750 square feet of interior space, and on the market for $12 million.
Can you spot the architectural flaw? I'm going to reveal it later in the video, but pay attention to see if you can spot it.
Now, to my right, we have the gates opening up to the private driveway, and this home is located on the iconic Mulholland Drive. Now, this road runs along the crest of the Santa Monica mountain range. So on one side, we have the San Fernando Valley, and on the other side, we have the Los Angeles Basin, and you live right in the center of it. Depending on where you want to go, you have to drive anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, but in return, you get this peace and tranquil environment.
Peace and tranquil environment on Mulholland Drive. And 10 to 30 minutes anywhere in LA. Do you know how big Los Angeles is? You're dreaming. And that's even without the traffic.
There's also a lot of history with the Mulholland Drive, and a lot of celebrities actually live around here because they enjoy the calm and tranquility and the greenery. Now, with that, we have the driveway bringing us up to the motor court. You can probably park 8 to 10 cars here easily, and you also do have a 2-car garage. And before I talk about the property, I actually want to bring everybody to this section. On the back, we have a spacious terrace with a glass bottom pool facing the canyon. And over here, we have the side yard, nicely hedged, private, green, calm.
And not talking to the rest of the property whatsoever. This area will never get used. Pay attention. This area is an office that we're going to later see. If you have this big flat area, which is a plus for a hillside property, and your property, from the internal experience, you're not interacting with it, then it's useless. How often are you going to come out from your front door to go to your side yard to hang out? It's just never going to happen.
There's also an easy access to your terrace as well, and they place a small seating area here. Now, the home on the exterior features stucco, horizontal oak siding, and these big picture windows
that are completely out of whack ratio-wise with the rest of the facade, and it's butt ugly. I mean, this is as typical, generic, modern house as you can think of it. And when you tie that in with the fact that they didn't see the potential of the lot to see maybe we should have incorporated the architectural shape because we're going with modern. We have an open hand to experiment to incorporate this side yard on the front side to the property to give a little bit of more flat land or maybe another backyard or a hangout area that connects really naturally with the interior space. To me, architecturally, it's not going to get a good score at the end of the video.
With black accents. Then they've also placed oversized exterior lights to match the scale of the property. And over here, we have the front door, a pivot door opening up to your former living room. Look at that view, Arman. Isn't that crazy? Straight from the entry.
It's great. It's great.
The backside of this home, the view, the tranquility, it's quite special. Now over here, they also incorporated this built-in planters, and that's where the roof gutters actually run in and then go into the ground. And this is really interesting. We have the Fleetwood sliding glass doors here, opening up to this lounge. Sectional couch, 2 chairs. I like those upper windows to bring in additional natural light. And it also comes with a full bathroom as well, and access to the right wing of the property where we have the kitchen. It's an interesting space. You can use it as a lounge, turn it into a screening room, game room, possibly make it an office. And given that we have a full bathroom, you can also make it a detached guest suite with its own entry, TV, built-in speakers, hardwood floors. And also, given that we have concrete floors underneath, you can also turn it into an additional garage space as well.
Did you spot the flaw? I give you guys 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. You don't have an interior access from the garage to the main house. There's no door connecting the garage to this room, meaning once you park your car, you have to get out of the garage and enter the property through the front door yourself.
Now, getting back out, to my left, we have the 2-car garage. Now, coming back over here, again, you can see how they used horizontal oak siding to case the entry. Solid wood pivot door with this big oversized brass handle.
So ugly. It's as generic as it gets. Again, I hate these modern homes where they look back to the past instead of trying to innovate. It's just, I can't stand them.
And it welcomes you into your former living room. The focal point here is the view. That's the Franklin Canyon Park. And given the topography, the hilltops, the greenery, it's like a movie. It's a picture, it's a portrait that lives in your home. You can hear the birds, the wind, the air. It's so quiet once you step inside. And right in the center is our cantilevering glass bottom pool. That's also part of the frame and the experience here. You can see how they use stacked stone around that section, and the same stone wraps to the exterior for continuity.
Another ugly finish. Typical, generic, horrible.
And here we have the seating area. 2 sets of Fleetwood sliding glass doors open up to the back terrace. And the main floor of this home is really open, gets great natural light.
Because it's south facing. If you take everything else I talk about on my channel and take one rule, this is perhaps the most impactful that you can follow and make sure you buy better properties that appreciate better over time, is buying south face properties in the northern hemisphere and north facing properties in the southern hemisphere.
And then here they've installed this walnut paneling system with built-in brass tracks, and you can see how each one of these panels recess into these sections. But to create some dimension, they actually pushed out some of the panels and installed in strip lighting, and those are the sections that you can see here. It gets better around. Let's get a close-up. There's also a discrete door here with a little built-in handle. The door to my left opens up to a powder room. There's a small office here facing the side of the property where we have the yard area,
which it doesn't connect to whatsoever.
And this is the access to a primary bedroom that we'll see in a second. Again, I can't stress it enough. I love this view. I really appreciate the openness and how all the grout lines perfectly align with the exterior. So there's simple design and pattern continuity. And then over here, we have the formal dining room. Faces the front of the home, chandelier above, nice art on the wall, and then we flow straight to the kitchen. I like how generous and good size this island is. Bar seating on this side, and on the back they used oak, and I'm assuming they took inspiration from the surroundings and this natural landscape. And one of the incorporated design element like this looks very light, bright. The contrast helps. Imagine waking up in the morning, opening up these sliding glass doors, preparing your breakfast, and listening to sounds of the birds outside.
By Mulholland Drive, so you can hear the cars passing by and listen to the birds at the same time. Now, let's analyze this kitchen, formal living space, and the dining room. Very generous, but also wasteful. Pay attention. There is no family dining experience beside that bar on the kitchen counter. That's a negative, meaning that's where you're going to be sitting on stools every time you're trying to eat with your family or friends, right? Otherwise, you have to use the formal dining area. And then there's no family living quarters on this floor over here. That's why you really needed that lounge by the garage, because you don't have that. You don't have that, more relaxed, chill TV area on this floor. You have a formal living space that connects to the dining room and also the kitchen. Again, very generous and sits really easily, effortlessly, but at the cost of a lot of waste. You don't get much utility out of the square footage whatsoever.
And we're in Los Angeles. I mean, you drive 15, 20 minutes down, you're in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, but you get to live in an environment like this in a modern home.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think this view is not going to change for quite a while.
Yes, well, it will never change because this is actually a park. It's a 600-acre park.
Well, we're forecasting a super El Nino this year. Look, the hillside property with a lot of dry trees below it is a massive, massive fire risk, okay? And good luck getting this property fire insurance, because it's not going to be easy. And if you go through the state-sponsored program, I think you can only get $3 million worth of insurance, which would not be enough to cover the cost of this $12 million property.
So whatever you see is whatever you're going to be experiencing in the future. There are few homes that are on the other side of the canyon I mean, they are quite far, but other than that, it's just greenery. And as you know, it's been raining and weather has been great lately. Look how green the canyon is, and we'll talk more about that as well.
Yeah, that's not good for the dry season. It means you've got a lot of vegetation to burn. Look, this canyon is absolutely beautiful. I wish if they had an actual trail going to the Franklin Canyon, because once you go there, it's absolutely green, fresh. It doesn't, you don't even feel like you're in LA.
Now, going to the other side, we have our sink, Mila built-in appliances, including an espresso maker, exterior doors so you have an easy access to the side. And over here, there's another nice concealed door that opens up to the hallway where we have the laundry room, additional storage with some open shelving, and the door at the end opens up to the lounge that we showed earlier.
We have a problem. You see, even if you wanted to use this as a screening room lounge, you have to go through the kitchen, through the pantry, laundry room to your lounge. It's massively flawed. It really, really is flawed. It just, the connectivity is horrible. You better off just making this like a guest suite that doesn't connect, because to me it just, the connectivity is extremely poor.
Now, let's check out the terrace. It's nice that your outdoor dining area and your outdoor kitchen is very close to your kitchen. That way, if you're cooking steaks, seafood, you can actually cook it right here and still serve the formal dining room, or just enjoy it right here with this kind of scenery. I like that this section is properly built in with stainless steel cabinetry, your sink, and the outdoor dining area, and the view. Now, the entire terrace and the side of the property that faces the canyon is all on concrete caissons, and for the most part the structure itself is also concrete and steel. So it takes a lot of resources to have an outdoor terrace like this and really be able to build a home on a hillside.
Yeah. The owners paid, I think, $1.8 million for the lot, and they're trying to get, $12 million out of it? You got to spend a lot of money to somehow justify that price.
Here you can also see the fire pit, outdoor seating area. It makes me want to just sit down, relax, and enjoy this view. This is awesome. So calm, peaceful, greenery, all these mature trees. And we're shooting this episode at the end of February, and weather is so hot. It's been so great lately. And coming over to this side, in the center, we have the glass bottom pool.
We have a dipping pool. Even my kids would be like, Daddy, that's a really small pool. It's an oversized jacuzzi, if you want to be truthful.
And as you can imagine, it sits on massive concrete and steel columns. It's a lot of weight. And then beyond that, look how big those glass panels are. And down below is a very cool lounge. So you're allowing the lower level to get natural light, and you're creating this exciting moment, this experience. And I just want to get in, go all the way to the edge, enjoy this view, the canyon. This is amazing.
I'm going to score the views at the end of the video. This is a classic mountain, rugged, green California view. It's normally not this green, okay? This is shot after rain in wintertime. In summertime, you get a lot more browns in there. But overall, it's perhaps one of the greenest looks you can get in Los Angeles.
What an investment on the homeowner side, especially given the price point of this home.
Watch out, Enes. It might get really exciting moments if you fall into the pool here. You have no separation here. The developer told the architect, we need a pool. The architect was like, at the expense of what? I don't care. Give me a freaking pool. Horribly tight. Like, he could really fall right there.
On the other side, we have another outdoor seating area. Glass railing throughout to take nothing away from these views. Now here, we have the sliding glass doors opening up to the primary bedroom suite. We transition back to hardwood floors, 2 chairs facing this view. Not only we don't have any neighbors looking into this bedroom, I also like that bed is nicely tucked in. So this room is very private. And if I lived here, as soon as I wake up, the first thing I would do is to hit the motorized curtains, open it up, and enjoy this view. This is awesome. The door here opens back up to the hallway that I showed earlier, and continue our tour with the walk-in closet and the bathroom. On this hallway, we have some built-in cabinetry. Here is the spacious walk-in closet. This is all a modular system, meaning the back panels, the tracks in between the reveals, the drawers, glass fronts. You can change it and configure it however you want. For example, if they want additional drawers, they can add it without really having to change the infrastructure here because the tracks are already in place.
Okay, so it's not a custom closet and you don't have a his and her closet. It's borderline enough, like the absolute minimum for a $12 million property.
I like the LED lighting and the picture windows above for some natural light. Room is private, spacious, definitely good size for this primary bedroom suite. Now on the other side, separate water closet. On this side, we have the floating vanity, walnut veneer.
Why is this sink all the way against the wall? Are you trying to kick out your spouse out of the house?
Stone countertop with 2 sinks, and I like this terrace tile. I feel like this material is getting really popular, and they obviously have it also on the floor here. And then we have these capsule mirrors that are frameless. They're shaped like a pill with built-in LED lighting, so it just looks very clean, effortless. They look light on the wall. And then over on this side, we have the freestanding tub, nicely tucked in, same terrace tile. And imagine being in this tub and looking at this view. Sliding glass doors properly pocket into the wall, open up to the terrace. I'm constantly thinking about how you would live in this space. And I feel like this is an exciting bathroom. Not because of its size or its fancy features. It's practical, simple, to the point, but more so you can interact with the most important aspect of this home, the surroundings. I don't even think you need really curtains here. You can just leave it open.
You don't see anyone.
You don't see anyone. All right, walk-in shower. We have the rain head above, nice transom window, shower head, handheld, built-in shampoo niche here, and of course it features the same tile.
You know what would have been nice if you wanted to interact with the nature, since you really didn't follow any ratios as far as window sizes and heights and width. It would have been cool to have a window looking out to the greenery from your shower, which you're going to use way more than your bathtub.
And now let's go to the lower level. Now the staircase comes down from the formal living room. The spine itself is all steel and the steps don't touch the surrounding walls, so it has this nice light floating effect. Glass railing, this opening allows all this natural light to come down to the lower level.
From a central position. I like this. The fact that you didn't have to position 2 staircases to create, good vertical connectivity. You've put it in the center, you've tucked it in, and I like the way it's positioned.
And here you can see one of the concrete columns that hold up the glass bottom pool. It's a really cool lounge between the surrounding views, fleet with sliding glass doors. This picture window that frames the canyon, and the little seating area here, and above me is the glass bottom pool. Now, in order to carry all this weight, the pool, the weight of the home itself on this hillside during some sort of a seismic activity, they wanted to make sure that this structure is really secure in place. And I would even argue that they've over-engineered this pool. Look how big these concrete columns are, and then in order to accommodate the glass bottom, because that's also carrying a lot of weight, they ran this steel I-beam on this side. But what a cool element. And I love how the reflection of the water comes down to this level. This is a very interesting space. I wasn't expecting this. And then if that wasn't enough, you get the canyon views. Super cool. Armand, what do you think? Worth the investment or not?
Absolutely. And this looks like actually you have a terrace in the lower level.
Yes, it does give it that energy.
Yeah, it's wide open. You can see the sky and everything. It's great.
Exactly. And I mean, these concrete columns are massive. And I also like how they left these structural elements exposed.
I don't care about the structural elements. What I care about, who did you design this house for? And who did you stage it for? Because this doesn't tell me anything. This is a decent space, a little too long and narrow. But if you're selling this property to a bachelor, which I would assume you are because you only got 1 bedroom upstairs, then you should have made this a game room. Why haven't you staged it as a meeting area for people downstairs? Why would anyone meet over here and hang out and not upstairs where the swimming pool is? So to me, by not giving it functionality, a bar, a game area, a screening area, a TV area where you can watch TV, maybe drink, maybe have a pool table or a foosball table or an element to give an idea of how you're going to actually use it, you might as well not just stage it, because people can use their own creativity what to do. So if you're staging it, you got to stage it for the target demographic.
And with this textured finish, they gave a different dimension and a spirit to this lounge. But yeah, in order to have that pool, you got to have all these concrete columns, and these probably go anywhere from 30 to 50, 60 feet into the ground.
Into the bedrock, hopefully, not the soil. Now, if you were to give this room functionality, let's say to the target demographic who would most likely be interested in this property because of the bedroom arrangements, would be a bachelor. Where would you put a bar here to make this room better? I give you guys 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. If your answer was against either one of these walls, that's the wrong answer, because you create a flow problem going into each one of these bedrooms on this side. But if your answer was, let's put the bar against the central glass panel under the swimming pool, so you can actually sit on the stools and look out through the window during the day and also have that swimming shadow effect of the water above you and create a focal point in the center of this room, and still allow to have maybe a foosball table, maybe a shuffleboard on each side to give that vibe and energy of a kind of a basement, open basement, dungeon, man pad, bachelor area, it would have given this area a lot more reasons for a demographic to come in and get excited about this space.
Now, over on this side, we have a bedroom suite, but I actually want to bring everybody here. There's a small powder room, and then the door to my left opens up to the junior primary bedroom. Now, even though I'm calling it the junior primary bedroom, some may prefer this as their primary bedroom suite. Couple reasons. Number one, great ceiling height. Number two, insert it even more into the landscape, into the canyon, so you experience more greenery, more privacy. I feel like this room is a little bit more connected to the surroundings than the main level primary bedroom. Obviously, that one is a little bit more practical. If you're gonna live in this home, everything you need is kind of on the top floor. Sliding glass doors open up, 2 sets. Great natural light coming in. I can't even face this side. I have to close my eyes because it's getting so much natural light. Small seating area, and they also have a plug on the corner there for your future TV. Glass wall, little terrace. It's a great room. Same hardwood floors. I like the spirit here. I like the vibes.
It is a good room. I wouldn't call it a primary. Again, calling out the demographic of a bachelor who's got friends coming over, staying over, and you want that privacy between the primary and the guest suites is really good. They're really separated in each corner of the house. So in that aspect, again, to me, when I'm looking at this layout, I'm like, it's calling out that demographic.
Now, over on this side, walk-in closet. Same modular system with this lighter tone here.
Again, another practical but low-end closet space.
Still very good size. And over here, we have this open, airy bathroom. Same freestanding tub. It actually sits on this little bench.
So ugly. It looks like a tanning salon bed.
Which is kind of interesting, but I bet it makes it easier for you to install and connect it to your drain line. It also gives it a little elevation, so you're sitting a little bit higher. Floor mount tub filler, your open walk-in shower. What I like here is the fact that I can still enjoy the view and enjoy the natural light that comes into the shower as well. The openness, the airiness certainly helps. And then we have a long vanity with 2 sinks. Same terrace tile on the back wall. And these mirrors are interesting with this thin brass frame, these softer angles.
So cheap. I mean, I've seen better finishes on a $4 million homes than this, than a $12 million. It's just really, really generic, not exciting whatsoever.
We have the sliding glass doors opening up to this cute terrace, outdoor seating area. I actually really like how this section is recessed and even more private. In the morning, you can wake up, open up your bathroom door, just enjoy the fresh air and the sunlight and the natural environment that you live in with all these trees. This is super cool. Now, Arvin, follow me this way. On the lower level, we also have a terrace with glass railing.
I wouldn't call this a terrace. This is more like a balcony.
And I'm now underneath the glass bottom pool. And here you can see how the concrete cantilevers, sit down, relax, enjoy the peace and tranquility. I love that we have terraces on both levels. And I also like the fact that how all the bedrooms open up to outdoor spaces. Here we have the last guest suite. Again, Fleetwood sliding glass doors, comes with a queen bed, full bathroom, walk-in closet, definitely good size.
No, it's not. It was a single sink, smaller closet, and much smaller than the other bedroom. And you only get 3 bedrooms, really. You know, you get 2 bedrooms down here and the primary bedroom. Now, I don't know which area they counted as the 4th bedroom. Either the small office that didn't really have a closet. I would consider that more of a nursery for like a, you know, bachelor who gets married and they have their first kid over here. You want to have the baby close by. Or the bedroom right next to the garage. Most likely that one was counted as your 4th bedroom. Again, pretty poor. I mean, for a $12 million property, that's really pushing it, because when you take away that, you know, lounge area that they set up by the garage, you really don't have a family room TV area on the upper floor, which you're going to be spending most of your time over. You have to go downstairs to use the lounge, which again was uninspiring if you ask me.
Now, this is where the tour gets interesting. There's a steel bridge here, takes you to the other side of the property, and here we have a gym. This room tells a lot about this property and what it took to create this experience.
Did you get a permit for this? To me, this looks like, it seems like an unpermitted space, and I will tell you guys why. First of all, it doesn't have a bathroom. It's really rough finish. A lot of times what developers do, they get the certificate of occupancy. They have this, they kind of plan for a cavity like this. And then once they get the certificate of occupancy, they put the sliding doors in and they create a room, and then they add that square footage to the total square footage of the property when that square footage is actually not on the title and not on the property. So you want to do your own due diligence if you purchasing this property to make sure if this area is actually permitted or not. It could be. You just have to do your own due diligence. Most of the time, where I've seen, they're not.
The view is very private. There's a split AC unit, and the ceiling is also concrete with these massive concrete beams. And you can see all the metal conduit, the light fixtures. And here's something also very interesting. Given that this is the gym and they wanted you to have a good experience here, all the drain pipes above are quiet pipe.
They gave us sewage lines to make sure we have a good experience. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing the feces. Inspiring. Really helps me with my diet. Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe he just said that.
Now, Arman, on the other side, can you see the lower level terrace?
Yeah, I can see them.
And how we have a concrete pad underneath with concrete beams. So not only you have concrete caissons that go into the hillside, then you have concrete beams to create a platform for this house to sit on. So much investment goes into placing a home like this on a hillside.
And what they didn't do is add an actual spa. Again, what are you going for? You have to really identify a target demographic and target it. And that's exactly what I do in my inner circle. We identify you as a potential person who's building their dream home, or if you're a developer, we identify 3 different demographics who would be potential buyers. Maybe 50% one demographic, 30% another one, 20% another demographic. And every decision we make, we try to make sure would every one of these demographics would be happy, or maybe 2 out of 3 would be happy, and we try to address these. If you're going for this nature-loving bachelor person, where is your spa? Where is your sauna? Where is your cold plunge? You're opening into the canyon. Like, you don't have any of this stuff, and you have a tiny little pool that you can't even do laps on. Okay, let's give it an Arvin score. Location. You're all the way up Mulholland Drive. You're not at either one of the 2 popular gated communities. It's going to get a 6. Lot quality. Most of the property is hillside. You had a little bit more of land up there on the front, on the side yard, that you didn't really designate a shape to use it. I think that was a missed opportunity. You always got to try to see, how can I differentiate my property against other hillside properties, and flat land is a very nice way of doing that. Overall, the flat space was really low. I have to give it a 3. Lot utilization. You had a decent frontage, a tiny little private driveway. Your side setback was actually really good on one side, and you had almost no backyard. I mean, it was a terrace at best. It's going to get a 6. Privacy. It's actually very private. You're first gated from the Mulholland Drive, then you're perched up from Mulholland Drive, and then there's not a single direct line of sight into your property. I'm going to give it a 9. Lot orientation. You're dead center south facing. The property is lit. You don't have any neighbors around you. You're going to get a lot of natural light in this property. I'm going to give it a 10. Architectural style. Generic, modern, design that didn't even follow proper proportions, it can't get anything more than a 3. Views. You've got mountain views with greenery that is seasonal at best. I'm going to give it a 5. Layout. You have the wow factor when you walk in. Your bedroom distribution is absolutely horrible. Your indoor-outdoor connectivity is average, and it didn't, again, utilize that side yards that it absolutely should have. That was where the potential of this property was, and they didn't really use it. It's an upside-down home. I can't give it anything more than a 5. Scale and volume. Overall, not bad at all. The ceiling heights were consistently good almost throughout the whole property. There's one smaller room. The rest of the bedrooms were even good size. I'm going to give it an 8. Finishes. This was also very disappointing. The finishes were for a $4 million property, not a $12 million property. I'm going to give it a 5. Now, here's the Arvin score, and if you want to see the tallest building in Spain, watch this video. It's an absolute disaster. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the comments.